Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out. Pleasure to be joined by the former trainer and coach to Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois, James Ali Bashir. James, good to see you. How you doing?
Hey, how are you doing, brother?
Even better to be seeing you smiling. On the way back home, but in Germany at the moment. James, let's get into the weekend's action. A lot of fallout from Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. What did you see unfold in the ring, first of all, in that rematch at Wembley?
Well, in my opinion, I don't know what went on in the Dubois camp, but in my opinion, I think that there was too much concentration on emotions and what happened the last time and what's going to happen this time. I would have my charge to go into the fight and focus on the fight itself and leave all the emotional stuff outside the ring, because it tends to distract the fighter all the way up until the fight. So I would just keep them away from that kind of stuff and keep them focused on the fight itself.
Have you seen the images of this pre-fight party that had happened? A lot of people are making talk about this being a big distraction for Daniel heading into this fight with Oleksandr Usyk. What do you think that would have done to him?
Me, myself, as a professional trainer, I would never do something like that. I would never allow my fighter to be involved with something like that. It's just not my way. And I've been doing this here, like I said, for 58 years of my life, and I would not take part in foolishness like that. To me, it doesn't add up to me.
You ever seen anything like that before in your career?
No, I haven't.
What was your reaction seeing the video?
I didn't even concentrate on it. I didn't even view it heavily. I just scanned it across it real quick. I didn't even get into it in depth because it doesn't make sense to me.
A lot of people are kind of saying that this was what led to Daniel being off focus, not having his mind on the fight. Do you think it would have played a factor in the fight at all?
It's just I just don't understand it. I can't relate to it, period.
What about the fight itself when it came to Oleksandr Usyk setting the finish? It was a hell of a shot by Oleksandr. What did you see him do to set that up?
Well, I said many years ago that that Usyk can punch. He can hurt you. He can hurt you. He's a strong guy. He's a very strong mentally, strong physically. And I said many years ago, before everybody else knew it, that this man can punch. I've done the mitts with him for more than 300 rounds. I've done the mitts with him. And I know that he can punch. And if he catches anybody in the heavyweight division right, he's going to hurt him. So it wasn't a surprise to me that he was able to hurt Daniel or Tyson. He hurt Tyson too. So, I felt like he can threaten anybody with his punching power because he's a strong guy and a powerful puncher. And I told everyone years before everybody else discovered that this guy can punch. I told them when he was a cruiserweight, I said, this guy can punch. He can hurt you. And now everybody's getting wind of it now that he can punch.
What about the end of the fight? Because a lot of people, my colleague Radio Rahim spoke to Derek Chisora, and he said that he felt Daniel Dubois quit in the ring. He got up and he walked over to his corner and he didn't look unsteady, and people are saying that he quit. What do you think?
As a boxing trainer, I'm never one to say when a fighter quits. I never like to use that word, he quit, because I'm not in there and I'm not taking those punches. So we don't know what state of mind. When a guy get hit on the chin, the way he got hit on the chin, there's a lot of things that can happen And instinctively, it's to protect oneself. So I don't know where his mind was, what he was thinking of because he had time to get up. He had time to get up, but he was confused too, you know. But I'm not one to say that a guy quits. I never say that because I'm not taking those punches.
Glad you mentioned the corner. You work in the corner with Don, his father. What is that dynamic like? A lot of people kind of make mention of Daniel and his father's relationship and how he kind of interacts with Daniel, and of course, in lieu of the party that was had pre-fight.
I think that there's a closeness between Daniel and his father. You know, from what I observed when I was in the camp with him, we was in Spain. We was in Spain, and then we flew back to London together. And I got a chance to observe the relationship that he has with the father. So yeah, I think it's a pretty close relationship. You know, uh, maybe so close that it could be to his undoing. He has to break off from the emotion that he has with his father and pay more attention to the tutelage of Don Charles, because Don Charles is the trainer. He's in the ring with him. He's got to start embracing what Don Charles tells him, because I think that Daniel Dubois can come back and win the heavyweight championship again. You know, I think he has some more maturing to do, both as a young man and as a boxer.
Think it would work without the presence of his father? Take, for example, obviously a different relationship. You had Mike Tyson and Cus D'Amato. Cus sadly passed away. Mike was just never the same. Would it be a similar dynamic, you feel?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say, you know, but he does have a closeness with the father, you know, and I don't know whether he can operate without him, you know. So I don't know.
What about what's...
Huh?
Continue.
I can't hear you.
I said, sorry, go on, continue.
I don't know whether he can operate without the father. I do know that there's a fondness, a very pronounced fondness between the father and the son. So I don't know how far he can go without the father, but I do know he's going to have to embrace the tutelage of Don Charles more efficiently to go forward. He's going to have to. You know, he's going to have to, because boxer and trainers, they have to form a relationship where they can communicate, where the trainer can even look at the fighter, and the fighter knows what the trainer wants. You know, he knows what he wants. So he's going to have to get to that point.
What about what's next for Oleksandr, who captures the undisputed heavyweight crown for the second time? Tyson Fury wants a third slice at him. Joe Parker wants an opportunity. Moses Town must be called for the shot. So has Adrian Caballero, like Cody's in the mix too. Who can give the best shot to Oleksandr? Who do you want to see?
You know, I think that Joseph Parker has earned the right to be the next opponent for Oleksandr Usyk. I heard some talk about them putting Itama in there, but you got Itama is 20 years old. Oleksandr Usyk is 38 years old. I mean, they want to get Usyk beat so badly that they're just trying to throw the wall at him. But that's not to say that Oleksandr Usyk wouldn't beat Itama too, because Usyk is truly a fox. He's a good fighter. You know, nobody can take that away from him.
Were you in camp when Moses Town was in camp with Daniel Dubois first fight
For the first fight
in Spain?
No, when I got there, Moses was gone.
Okay, no problem. Okay, James, moving on to your fight, Vlad Simenko. I'm sure that you and Vlad would be disappointed in the performance against Solomon Dakers. What went wrong tonight?
It was a combination of things. We've had preparations for the last 6 or 7 months, and we've had 4 or 5 guys fall out. We train the fight fall out. We train the fight fall out. We train the fight fall out. So then we have a fight for the WBO international heavyweight title against another Ukrainian. And at the last moment, he gets a knee injury, and then we're subjected to fight Dacus. We're supposed to fight him. So all of these 4, 5, 6 months that we trained for 6 or 7 different fights, it was just difficult. And I thought that, that Vlad would be able to catch up, but to his credit, Solomon fought a very wise fight. He hit and he moved. He hit and he moved. He hit and he moved. And Vlad just couldn't catch up to him. So they brought him in at the last tip. We had prepared for one style, and then we got 10 days to come back and prepare for another style. And to it, I was just, in my mind, Vlad Tsarenko was fortunate to get through those rounds because it was just a frustrating thing. But I explained to Vlad Tsarenko, that's the landscape of boxing. You have to be ready all of the time. Put anything aside. You have to focus on that there and try to win under any circumstance.
What will be next from them? What's the opportunities you think will be put towards him?
I think that that we'll get more opportunities now because other fighters saw that fight, and they'll think that Vlad Tsarenko is a lesser fighter, that they can take him. So I think that there's some good that can come out of that loss. There's some good, but you cannot be deterred because that's the landscape of boxing. We had 5 guys fell out within the last 6 months that we trained. I came here to Germany. I came here to Germany on 4 different occasions, only to go back to America without a fight. So we trained for this guy. We trained for one style. We had to train for another style. We had to train for a boxer, a slugger, a mover, And then in the last 10 days, they come up with Solomon Dacus, and hey, he beat him. He beat Vlad, He beat Vlad, and I believe part of it was I was trying to get through to him, but frustration added up, and we lost the fight.
Okay, James, hopefully see you and Vlad out very soon before the close of the year. We'll be there. Thank you so much for speaking to Second Out. We'll speak very soon.